Tom, you might want to move either your head up or your camera down. We're just getting like the bottom half of your chin. There you go. Much better. Hello, Discord. Anybody with us tonight? Well, I'm seeing a lot of chatter in Discord. It might just be us tonight.
Whoa, my dogs are crazy.
Frank is here. Joe. Ilio. Oh, even my second born. Hey, Woods. Good evening, everybody. It's good to know we have other people. All right. Go.
Is that really a little outfit?
Look at your little outfit. Oh, you haven't even seen the whole thing yet.
I know. I thought you were going to save it for the show.
I am.
That's why I didn't bring it up.
I appreciate that. Okay. All right. All right. Do we want to kick this off or?
Yeah, it's 9 o'clock. Ready whenever
Tom,
you is.
You gotta show me how to loop it back so you guys can hear the music again, because I know you guys can't hear it when I run it.
I just share the screen with audio.
I gotta share the screen. That's what I gotta do. Good.
That
Thank
echoes.
you for me.
That's not like.
Yeah, I don't know what that is.
That's not hotel room echo. That's two sources of input type of echo.
I think that's on you, Eric.
No, I don't think so. You're the only one. Let me start Zencaster before I forget. All right. Can't hear anything now.
No echo.
No echo, no nothing. All right. I think I'm sharing.
I hear an echo.
Whatever you just did was better. What did you do?
I muted myself.
But we could still hear you?
I can hear him.
What? I can hear him just fine. Yes, I can hear you right now.
What?
Yeah, I hear him just fine.
How are you hearing him and I'm not? That's weird. All right, so let's see.
How am I the source of the echo?
I don't see how you share your audio, Tom, so you guys aren't going to hear this. You guys aren't going to hear it again today either. Because I don't see how to share the audio.
You said I've got monitoring on and I haven't changed my settings. Oh, maybe I did. Eric, can you stop Zencaster and we'll restart it?
Yeah, sure. Smalls, you're not killing me or anything? Where's it at?
I joined in a different profile, so I think maybe that screwed things up.
All right.
Let's try that.
So I still have two Johns in here. Oh, there he goes. All right. You want me to start it again?
Yep. Try now.
Okay. Start recording. Oh, you were hearing him twice because
I have two profiles, and when I hit Zencaster, it opened in the profile I don't normally use.
So the echo I was hearing wasn't the echo you were hearing two voices. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so we got Zencaster going this time. All right. You're gonna have to tell me how to share audio at another time there, Tom. We're gonna fire this off.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top, y'all know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish. I'ma send a shout out to the host named Eric. Yo, he's never on some average shit. You know Eric, he stays loud and passionate. I'm about to break it down for y'all with a clever song. Yo, shout the host named Thomas, cause he's never wrong. Yo, shout to John, you know that he's smart and quiet, unlike my freestyles which cause a riot. I'm about to do it like this, cause the people love me. me. Shouts out to PHP the Ugly. It's called ugly cause it's not professional, but I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting, I perfume the room. Yo, the segment of the show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from Thomas. Yeah, can nobody go beyond this? I get the mic and then I'm about to keep it like a promise. Yeah, and y'all know we fill them up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming language. About to break it down, no exaggeration. What do y'all do for a living? Web applications. Okay, I can dig it. My words spray tight. They getting together on the Thursday nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you can call me the new dude. I spew true lyrics while y'all broadcast on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major. All up in the comments, they got plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go. Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun. And it was an honor and blessing to do this little custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy. Stay up. Yeah. Come on. Hey.
From the Pacific to the Rocky Mountains and around the world, you're listening to the PHP Ugly Podcast, episode 309. We are three real-world developers who make a living with the PHP programming language, which we use to write tomorrow's legacy code today. We live stream every Thursday night around 9 p.m. Pacific time, and you too can participate in this live stream by joining our Discord at discord.phpugly.com. We have a bunch of great listeners who hang out in there all week long and keep the party going. We'd like to thank a few groups for making this stream just a little bit better. First, we'd like to thank our Patreons on Patreon. You can check that out at patreon.com/phpugly. And we also have a couple of sponsors, honeybadger.io and Cloudways. And we'll talk about all that a little bit more, as well as everything will be in our show notes. Our sponsors, our Patreons, all of our individual Patreons, if you want to hunt them down and find out what the hell's wrong with them. And any links we share in the show will be in our show notes, either in the audio podcast or later on the YouTube video as well. But for now, allow me to introduce myself. I am your humble host, Eric Van Johnson, and with me tonight is John Congdon.
I can't wait to hear about this outfit of yours, and I haven't seen Sarah in a long time, and she's here with us tonight.
And Tom right up.
Hello.
Tom,
different location.
We are actually all on the left coast today, huh? How's Silicon Valley treating you?
We are. Oh, it is nuts. It is lots of work. It is lots of stuff, people. Turns out I'm not much of a people person, but boy, yeah, it's been going nonstop. I'm right here across from the Googleplex, and I've been doing a little sightseeing, seeing all the different gigantic companies around the town.
Well, you might want to make your way to the Twitter building and see if people are like jumping out of the windows there yet.
No, they're being thrown out of the windows.
They're being. All right, I'm sorry I cut you off. We'll get to that later, I guess.
It's smaller than I thought it would be. Everything's like real tightly packed in here.
It's been 15 years or more. Like, I got to visit the Googleplex back in 2006, 2007, I think. And it's just been forever. I got to go when they launched Google Checkout.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I got curious and pulled up Zillow and found a really nice place just outside of town. 2-bedroom, 1-bath for $450,000. And it's nice because you can tour the whole house from one photograph because it's a trailer. The next best I could do for an actual like house started at 1.5 million. So it's a little expensive here.
It sounds like San Diego. It's expensive here too.
Yeah, it's not much more expensive than San Diego, but it's a little more expensive than Colorado Springs. But so far it's been great. I've been on Castro Street, which has 1,000 restaurants. You'd love it, John, because everything's fucking vegan.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
so you said it's
be.
been a lot of work. Have you got to have any fun other than touring on your own? Is the company putting together things for you to be doing?
Tonight was the Halloween party, and that was pretty party-ish. We don't have a lot of.
You win as a developer.
I did.
Yeah, you pull it off.
I've got the look.
What did you go as?
No, just me, really. It was a long day, and I didn't have
stressed out introvert. That's what he went as.
Yeah, basically. So it was. It's been pretty wild. It's been pretty fun, but wild, and not a whole lot of activities on this trip because I have a gigantic project that I'm the lead on. So I've been focusing on that.
More importantly, have you talked to them about sponsoring tech yet?
I have not. So I was going to bring that up on Friday just in case it threw me out of the office.
Just send them this episode. Like, hey, you guys should watch this.
Don, hold on. Let's see how drunk he gets by the end of the episode. We might not want to do that.
Listen from like 5 minutes to 10 minutes into the show.
Yeah, and then turn it off, please. Apparently, a lot of the or a few of the other developers here do listen to the show. So, hi. I just saw you guys.
But we're not gonna name any names.
No.
Bob.
So what is this? Bob. What is this with your costume here, or whatever that is you're doing?
It's just according to his kid, it's a little outfit.
It's a little outfit. I got my little jackal thing on here. Got my fancy shirt. Fancy shirt. Got the hat on today. I'm decked out today. This is
you really are.
Yeah, because I care. I care about the show and I care about the listeners. Unlike you jerks who don't do anything. That's going to be a running theme tonight. I feel like
I came dressed up as a PHP architect. I am a PHP architect.
You are a PHP architect.
Only because you own the company, and because you're a PHP architect.
That's a good question, Sarah. You do look like Guy Fieri.
I don't know if that's not a question.
Tom or I?
I'm going with you. I was going with Eric.
Yeah. Not as much a question as just a mean statement.
How does that mean? Outside of what he cooks, I think he's a pretty cool guy.
Is he the one that goes bam? Is that the guy here? Oh, that's not him.
No.
Oh no, that's what's his name?
Emerald Lagasse.
Emerald, yeah, bam, yeah. Guy Fiera, is that his name? That's the guy who ruins all the great dive places to eat in local towns. Like everywhere that guy goes. Oh, in OB here in San Diego, we had what's the burger place called? I forget now.
Slater's 50/50?
No, not Slater's. What'd you say, Tom?
McDonald's?
No. Oh, shut up. Anyways, Hodad's. I don't know why that escaped my mind. We had a great little burger place here called Hodad's. San Diegans knew about OB was kind of like the locals beach, and Mission Beach was like the tourist beach. So like some locals came to OB, and and we had this great little burger place called Hodaz, and this guy, jerk restaurant guy, came and did a thing talking about how great their burgers were, and now nobody can get in there and have a burger. It's like before they opened,
they're all over the place. What are you talking about?
Well, they are now. Since they've gotten so big time now, they're actually in the stadium. They're in the Petco Park. But when he did his restaurant thing, there was just the one. That's what I'm talking about, John. Before your crappy time here in San Diego.
Yeah, I didn't realize it started in OB. I thought that one downtown was the original because it's so small.
You think the one downtown is small? The one downtown is huge. You should go to the one in OB. The one in OB is small.
That's right. They don't have anything I really want anymore.
Oh, whatever. Anyways, we used to be able to like walk in the back door when we lived in OB. We'd walk in the back door and just sit down and have a shake and burger, and those days are gone forever. John, how was your week though?
Oh, let's see. Busy. I'm spending way too long on this project and it's driving me nuts, but it's an event sourcing project. I'm for the most part enjoying it, but hitting some snags. Then I'm constantly dealing with support issues for code I wrote like many years ago now. And out of the goodness of my heart yesterday, I'm like, this issue's been cropping up where bad data is causing issues. So I figured, why don't I write this few lines of code? If there's a bad phone number on the contact, move it immediately, like just bypass a bunch of crap within the code. Everyone bought into it. Everyone liked it, got released. And of course, I wake up at 6 a.m. this morning to the house is on fire. Everyone's pissed off. This doesn't work the way it's supposed to work. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yeah, the code itself worked fine, except when you import contacts into the contact manager, it was doing this check before putting the phone number onto the record. So at the point it was doing the check, there were no phone numbers. So it thought the contact was bad and did what it was supposed to do, which was not good. So that was my fun morning. I got to.
Oh, I haven't heard from you all week.
Well, no, that was just today. That was a hot fix that moved one line of code up. I was like, move this one line of code and everything was happy again. No, I mean, you haven't heard from me. Yes, not because of that specific thing, but just customer service problems. People constantly asking, this isn't working the way I expected to, or can you research this? So it's just always nonstop.
All right. Well, I've had
a
fun week, I guess. I mean, I've been refactoring some code, another developer's code. I've been kind of diving in and refactoring a little bit. Been working a lot on front end stuff, which I tell you what, man, I just do not have the freaking skill set to do front end. It's horrible. Tailwind brings me as close as I can possibly be at creating good front end, but I am so far off from being efficient, good, being able to see the vision. Like when I code, I have a vision of what I'm coding. Like I can see where I want to get to. I cannot do that with front end development. And my dog is down. Can you hear my dog?
Yes.
That she has this big bone that she's just hammering against my chair right now, trying to get my attention so that I'll play tug of war with her. And she's driving me nuts. But
send her to the other end of the wing, like the east wing, while you're recording.
I'm just struggling trying to get some front end work done and make it look pretty. I don't know, man. I just wish I was better at it. I wish it came more naturally to me, but it doesn't.
Roger Ra is saying Figma first, and Figma has its place, but we're not designers. It's more about getting the functionality. more than anything.
Right. And like the Figma, I mean, even the Figma, it's like I can't visualize how I want things to lay out. You know, all I do is start flipping through templates and I'm like, okay, let me try putting this little nugget, you know, on my site and see if this works. And that, like I said, that's where Tailwind has brought me a long way, because I can kind of process Tailwind and understand
Then
it.
you should see my site for my presentation next week. It is absolutely terrible.
What presentation are you doing next week, John?
I will be giving a
I
presentation.
don't think I've heard anything about this.
I don't know.
I will be at Longhorn PHP next week doing a presentation on event sourcing.
Longhorn? Is that a conference?
That is a conference. That is a conference in Texas. But it'll be fun. I'm excited. I know we have a couple listeners that are going to be there. I'm looking forward.
We have a lot of PHP architect people who are going to be there. A lot. So that's something. But you know where else they're going to be? Hopefully. So we have issues, John. We need to start a marketing campaign blitz immediately. As everybody knows, we're excited to have PHP Tech coming back to Chicago May 16th through the 18th. And we've been talking about this for a while. It's been no secret. We've made it very clear. May 16th through the 18th is when Tech is going to be in Chicago. So yeah, today Taylor tweets that he's bringing back Lyricon, and he's thinking, I don't know, April, May, not sure when. And he's bringing it. This is how much he hates me now. This is how much Taylor hates me now. He's bringing it to Nashville. You know who lives in Nashville, John? Tom, do you know? Can you guess? That's right. Fucking Ben Ramsey. This is all a goddamn conspiracy against me. Ben Ramsey is out to end my career. I know it. Damn it. Hate that guy. But yeah, I'm actually very worried. Matter of fact, you can see my little tweet here, down here. I'm like, please not May. Please. I beg of you. I beg of you.
We've been talking to him about Tech. He knows about Tech.
Yeah, that makes it hurt that much more. Thank you very much for pointing that out. Yeah, it's not like it was a secret to him. But yeah, whatever. Man's got to do what the man's got to do, I guess. But yeah, I'm really hoping he doesn't do it in May. I'm going to be really bummed if he does it in May. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I mean, even April is going to suck if he does it in April. But whatever, man. I am. I don't know about you, John, but I am honestly kind of like, after this first year, like physically exhausted and drained, trying to get people excited about PHP Architect, PHP Tech. I mean, I feel like I'm a broken record talking about it, and it's tough, man. You see things like that, and it's like, we can't get any love, man. We can't get any love. I swear. It's hard.
It does seem to be that way.
Yeah.
At times.
Yep. But what about you, Tom? What about you? What sort of love have you been feeling at the mothership?
I very quickly got put in charge of a very large project, and then told that the deadline was January 1st. And that, yes, there are several vacation times for the entire staff between that period of time. So it's more like a 7-week span of time that I actually have to work on this very large, important thing. And but it's Greenfield. Very excited about that.
Greenfield, man. I love the Greenfield. Love the Greenfield. I tell you,
I get terrified by Greenfield.
Oh, why? It's so wonderful. But I will say today, so the Greenfield app I'm working on has 4 different components to it, all individual applications. So it's like a microservice thing, right? And there's 4 individual servers running 4 applications that all need to work together to get the overall application working. And API driven, obviously, the main part that I did was like the heart of the app, which is all the APIs that kind of bring everything together. It's the event sourcing app that John was helping with. You've heard me talk about this for months now, the stuff we worked on. And like I said, that was the thing I was cleaning up. One of the other services, which is a front end, a B2C front end. I was cleaning up that front end a little bit, and we were having some issues because that front end was having problems talking to another service, another microservice we'd built for payment processing. And I realized like all these microservices are so challenging to debug. I mean, it's like trying to figure out, is it breaking in the front end code? Is it breaking in the application, the remote API call code? Is it not actually breaking, but it's working as it's supposed to, and something else is wrong? Which was really what the problem was. They kept so this is a greenfield app, and we're just bringing it up. So obviously we got to do things like better error handling and things like that. But like the message we were getting back was very confusing because we were actually getting back a successful message from the API, but it made it look like it wasn't able to process the payment. And it wasn't, I mean, I guess technically it wasn't able to process the payment, but it wasn't for the reason that it should have been. It wasn't because of the credit card. It was a whole nother reason. And it really should have reported that, and it didn't report it correctly. Which again, we know we have to go back and do error handling. Man, I've got to apologize to the listeners. Again, I said this is going to be a running theme, and I mean it. I care about you guys a lot. I do a lot of work on the podcast, and I take a lot of pride in it. These jerks, they show up and they talk and they disappear. Whatever. I was listening to last week's podcast, and I heard myself try to explain the new strict mode that Laravel had, and I couldn't. I wanted to punch myself in the face. Had I not been driving, I might have punched myself in the face. I can't stand the way I try to explain things. It's so frustrating to me. I wanted to apologize to that. And on that note, that very strict mode, I told you guys I enabled that strict mode on this application, this Greenfield application I was working on, and it saved my ass right out the gate. So as I'm sitting here trying to test end-to-end development, so I'm trying to make sure all the components work together, I had enabled strict mode, and all of a sudden I started getting this error that version was not a defined column. I'm like, what are you talking about? I've been testing these API endpoints for months now. You haven't complained about this yet. What do you mean? And what I've been doing, I explained this to you guys before. If you haven't listened to a past show, been doing a lot of event sourcing. One of the things I do in event sourcing is I'll project the data to other tables for other applications to read. Maybe I'll index them differently. Maybe I'll organize the data differently. It doesn't matter. It's a projected table. All the real data is in the stream. But anyways, I have these projected tables. This is a Laravel application. So the projected tables have their models. And when I project data out to a table, I usually capture the version number of the stream so that I can tell looking at data if it's from the current version of the stream or not. So I can say, hey, this is actually 3 versions behind. I put it in there for debugging. So I know I've been putting in this version call, and I've been passing data to it. Haven't had this problem. Well, one of the strict modes we talked about, and the names forget me now, but one of the strict modes was something about attributes, or maybe this would have fallen under the fillable one. Anyways,
sounds like it'd be the fillable one.
The fillable one. I'm passing the version number to this model this whole time, thinking that this model is capturing the version number. I enable strict mode, and now it's telling me, oh, hey, version isn't on this table. I'm like, what are you talking about? So I go look, and sure enough, the goddamn version column wasn't on this one projected table. I'm like, son of a bitch, man. So it was an easy fix. I mean, I just updated the migration, but I couldn't.
But you said
believe how long
you
I've been there.
you were already looking at it, and it was in there prior, or were you looking at other projections and just assumed?
Other projections. I know I had been adding it to all my projections because, again, that was my thinking behind it. I wanted to keep track of the version. So when it said that it wasn't there, I'm like, well, it's got to be there. I'm adding it to all the tables. Why would I not have added it to this one? Either I had in one of the refactorings that got pulled out of a migration somewhere. I don't know. I'm not sure if it had been in there and got pulled out because, again, greenfield application, we're constantly changing table structures, even on the projected tables. So we're constantly doing complete, migrate fresh migrations to rerun all of our migrations. So I haven't really gotten to the point now where I'm moving migrations forward. I am actually, as of today, will probably be there because we are deploying the application to servers for the client to test. So probably starting today, I will stop rewriting migrations and just do my whole migrations moving forward thing. But yeah, the version wasn't there. And had I not enabled that strict mode, I know
So it wasn't
for sure.
It wasn't breaking. It just wasn't getting the data into the table, right?
Right. Laravel was just ignoring it. It was like, oh, there's no version column, so I'm not going to.
Interestingly, Laravel 9.3.7 came out this week, and they added a new model handler for missing attribute violation and discarded attribute violations. So you can write your own custom handlers in case that happens.
Oh, interesting. Hey, that's a great idea, John. I just had like a 5,000 level plan. We go through all the call for papers. We accept all the call for papers from anybody in the Laravel community. They can't have a Laracon if they don't have speakers. We will bring them all to tech. Nuno,
I'm guessing they already have their
tech,
speakers.
Baby. What?
I'm guessing they already have their speakers. And you're telling me that if Nuno submitted an application to you wouldn't just immediately accept it without reading it?
I would not.
You would not read it, or you would not accept it?
I would not accept it without reading it.
Okay. No, Eric.
Like it's going to go through the same. We're not, when we go to do the reviews, we're not looking at who's submitting.
100%. I'm looking. 100%. Fly that guy here. Who knows? It's got a new package out that's really got me interested. I should have added this to the show notes. He's released a package to interact with Open API, or I'm sorry, Open API. So Open AI.
I don't know if I'm allowed to say this.
I saw that.
But a person we may have been talking about has submitted a couple of options.
Oh, I've seen quite a few people who've submitted quite a few options that I'm very excited about.
I haven't seen this. Send me this.
Negative.
I'm
amazed. I haven't seen your submission yet, Tom.
My submission, yeah, because I've been busy.
Whatever.
It's been open for 6 weeks now. What are you talking about?
You were unemployed and you didn't submit. What are you talking about?
That doesn't sound right. I don't think that's right.
If you want to speak at tech, please go to tech.phparch.com, click on speakers, and submit your ideas. You do not have to be a professional speaker. Look at me. I am talking next week at a conference. Anybody can do it. If I can do it, you can too.
Okay, John, but what if they don't want to speak at tech? What if they just want to deploy servers?
I'm not that person, man. I'm not that person. All right, we're gonna pay some bills.
Hit the button.
You want to pay some bills? Is that it? All right, we can
Pay
do
some
that.
bills.
So look, I wanted to say a few words about our sponsors. We'll start with Cloudways. We do appreciate them sponsoring us. Cloudways in particular. If you want to show the show some love, try visiting the link for Cloudways, phparchitect.com/Cloudways, and sign up. And that lets them know that we sent you there, and we hear back from them. They tell us, they say, hey, we've been getting traffic from you guys. We appreciate that. We'll continue sponsoring you. We'll continue giving some money. So consider doing that. But until then, I'm going to roll this beef footage of
It's
a
not
commercial
beef.
for you.
This video is brought to you by Cloudways. We are all developers and love to write code, but managing the servers that code runs on can be a time-consuming and error-prone process. Cloudways helps you spend less time managing your servers and more time doing what you really want to do, coding. You only need one account to manage servers on multiple platforms and for multiple customers. Pick just the server size and location that makes the most sense for you and your customers. You can even estimate your costs for your server before spinning it up. Cloudways offers peace of mind and flexibility so you can focus on growing your business instead of dealing with server management. With Cloudways, you get an optimized stack, managed servers, backups, a staging environment, integrated Git, pre-configured Composer, 24/7 support, and a choice of 5 different cloud providers: Amazon Web Services, DigitalOcean, Linode, Google Cloud, and Vultr. Get a discount of 20% for 3 months using the code PHPARCH. Check them out today.
Thank you,
Thanks, you,
Cloudways.
Cloudways.
Squirrel!
Squirrel.
What happened?
You got to pay attention to Discord at discord.phpugly.com. That's the way it works.
I don't have to keep reading it off. I have it down here in the live stream. Although I guess if you're an audio listener,
And yeah,
oh my
exactly.
gosh! If any family members
more animal
are here at
noises.
the house and are still awake, if somebody could come, either shut my door and lock the dog in here with me, or separate the dog and cat, I would appreciate it. This is getting oh cat. Oh, gosh.
Don't you have a bell there for the butler to come from the other wings of the house?
Turns out you have
Yeah,
to
the
pay
butler
those
is not
people, John.
responding.
Yeah. What's going on in Discord? I missed all the joking around here.
There's
Oh,
never
look
joking
see,
around.
look, Sarah's got title suggestions going. That's pretty awesome.
So does A Woods.
Hey, Woods, yeah. See, that's the whole thing. Oh, I think that might even be a good. That might even make a good YouTube thumbnail. Me punching myself in the face. That'd be awesome. All right, cool. Thank you, Discord, for being part of the show.
So I'm hoping to have a new blog post for PHP Arch here soon. Friend of the show, Tim Lytle, is he's putting together this whole package for getting FoamBurner to sponsor tech and to bring all the developers out there for an in-person meeting. But part of that is, a way to convince your management to send you. And I want to do the same thing for anybody that's listening or on our site. How do you convince your boss to send you to tech?
I love that.
Tech single-handedly changed my career path. And
Whoa.
not
Sounds
no,
like
it's
why your
true.
boss wouldn't want to send you to tech.
Well, it depends. It depends on how your boss looks at conferences. If they don't appreciate sending you to conferences and don't look at it as making you a better developer to support their business, then you're either going to go and then find something else, or if they value that, they're going to send you hoping you're going to learn a bunch and bring it back to the company and then value your input to make their whole company better, not just the code itself, but everything better. So it really does depend on how management views conferences. So the whole point isn't send me so that I can leave your stupid company in a couple years, but having that foundation of community changes you. Not that I left where I was at, but it gave me this whole vision of PHP as a community, got me going to my local PHP user group. This was well before I left where I was working. So it just made me a better developer overall and helped get me past I can't even why can I not think of the words now? I was going to say Stockholm syndrome, but that's not the right one.
Imposter syndrome?
Imposter syndrome. Might be one and the same, actually. It helped. I mean, I had imposter syndrome so bad, and I still do at points, but going to PHP Tech back in 2010 helped push me past that a little bit.
I tell you what, if you want imposter syndrome, come to a bar in Silicon Valley and just listen in on conversations, because Jesus Christ, it is nightmarish. I just feel so out of place with these people who are accustomed to all of this gigantic industry stuff.
That's every day for them. That's no big deal.
Yeah.
That's why you have to pay almost $1 million for a trailer and you can't live in Colorado. Sorry.
Well, I'm going back to Colorado. I don't care what anyone says. I've got the homesickness.
How long have you been there now? It's your 4 or 5 days?
Yeah, 5 days.
When do you go back?
Saturday, late Saturday. I'm hoping to catch the Museum of Computer History Saturday before I fly out.
Going by yourself, or you have plans to go with people?
By myself. I mentioned it to some of the other developers and was told, I don't like technology. All right, that's fine. I'll go by myself.
All right, so we talked about it. Oh, go ahead.
I was going to say, Sarah's talking in Discord about how to get the most out of a conference. And I tweeted about it today. If you're going to be at Longhorn or Tech when it comes around, come find me and say hi. Like, I definitely want to talk to you. But I am also an introvert. Like, I sometimes tend to go
hide on the podcast.
Yeah, but when I get around a lot of people, I do tend to want to go to my hotel room and just get away from everything. And I may still do that occasionally, but I also use the opportunity to push myself to try and get out there a little bit. And I remember going to conferences early on, and there will be people standing around talking, and you should not be afraid to go stand in that circle. You may not say anything at first, but go stand in it and start listening, and then start talking.
That sounds sounds a little like shaming. You shouldn't be afraid. You're perfectly allowed to be afraid to go stand in that circle. Just feel welcome to do so.
Yeah, you are welcome to stand in the circle with people or sit down to lunch at the same table as other people. Don't go find an empty table first. Find a table, sit down, start talking. It's hard. I remember going to conferences and trying to be outgoing where I would sit down at a table with people, and then sometimes it's like pulling teeth. Like I want to draw you out of your shell. Like please talk and interact. So it's not.
Although
just sitting.
I do have to say, there was one time where I was at a conference and talking to Eric, and someone walked into the circle to say hi, and I just turned around and left. So Taylor, if you're listening, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you feel out of place. I just
This
didn't
was
didn't
one of
know
my
what to
favorite
do.
moments at a conference. It was like, to watch a man crumble like that so quickly. It was like, what's happening? What's wrong with you?
You know, one of the things that happens a lot at this week that I've been here is I'll be talking tech stuff with a big group of people, and they'll mention something, and I'm like, well, I'll ask Ben about that if you want me to. And they're like, who's Ben? I'm like, Ben Ramsey. And I'm like, what? Like, oh yeah, no, he's like in our Discord, or like we have lines of communication with him because the podcast stuff, and I'll just be name dropping without realizing it at all. And talking about like, I love Laravel. I'm just not 100% with Taylor's release versioning. Like, Taylor,
That's the
who's
thing,
Taylor?
right? That's the thing about conferences. You sit and you eat, you break bread with these people, and half the time you don't even know it's the people you're breaking bread with until you start talking to them and you realize, oh, they work on internals. Oh, they're that person who did that package, or
This is Grumpy Programmer, and this is Snipey Head.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. One of the funniest stories I ever had was Grumpy. I don't even think I could not have been podcasting back then. And Grumpy had the podcast with Ed Fink,
Dev Hell.
And I listened to it. There were a few podcasts back there. Cal had his Voices of the Elephant podcast, and there were a few PHP podcasts back then. We clearly raised the bar when we hit the market, but this was before all that. And I think this was the first tech that you took me to, John. And I sit there and I see Grumpy, and I'm like, hey, I just want to let you know, I listen to your podcast all the time. I really like, what you're saying. I enjoy getting insight. He goes, oh, hey, thanks for listening to the podcast. Grumpy grabs my laptop out of my hand, slaps on a Dev Hell sticker, and I wasn't a sticker guy on the laptop at the time, and he does it. I'm like, could you kill you? Thank you very much, Grumpy. Appreciate that, motherfucker.
Oh, that's so cool. Thanks.
I'm always I always think of that story when I run into somebody and they ask me for stickers. I'm like, I just hand them the sticker. I'm not gonna go like assuming you want me to slap it on your laptop or anything. I'll just hand it to you. You deal with it as you please.
to put it on a laptop that has no stickers is way different than just slapping it onto one that has a bunch of stickers.
To his defense, I did have a shell. I was always a shell person, so I did have a shell. It was a Mack, and I always bought the shells for the Mack. So it was a black shell. It was clean. It was pristine. There were no stickers on it, and then bam, there was a Dev Hell sticker.
So
speaking of stickers, did you end up getting
if
any?
You run into me.
Run into
I
you?
got a great. If you run into me at tech, I'll do that. I've got one sticker here. This is our current sticker.
Oh, I like that one.
Yeah, me too.
I got a sticker. We need a rainbow sticker.
Got a bunch of them.
Like just an A with rainbow colors in it.
I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Make it happen.
Yeah, I got to order stickers. Damn. I don't think I'm going to have any time for Longhorn.
That's fine. I have some.
Yeah, I haven't even gotten down San Diego and with enough time to even go into storage to see if I can even scrounge any up. Yeah. Oh,
I need to get out there. Maybe I will. I really have to get my I should probably start working on my presentation for next week.
I mean, you might want to, at least get some bullet points jotted down to talk about.
I'll try. One or two.
So when do you fly out next week?
Thursday.
Oh, no show? Or are you going to try to do it from the hotel room?
I don't know because the speaker dinner is Thursday night.
Oh boy.
So I may
Is
not
there a
be
time
next
difference?
week. It's 2 hours.
Maybe an hour.
It's
Oh, is it two?
two from here.
Yeah,
So,
see, that's fine. So you have to do it at 11 o'clock.
yeah. There's a chance I will be on the show very drunk because I will have been on the plane. I will have been at a speaker dinner. I will have been socializing.
Right,
So-
couldn't be any worse than when you were high.
True.
Tom does not let you forget shit, does he? Like
I'm fine with
anything.
that. I'm fine with
Which-
that.
I know it.
It was just a still picture of him on the entire feed. The whole feed was just a still picture.
That's all right. I'm good with it. I got some cookies here. I've been meaning to try, but I haven't yet. So, all right. Actually, that's not true. I did try them a couple weekends ago. So it's the
And they're
gummies I haven't
That
tried.
is one intimidating thing about being here. A lot of fit people. I ran into one of my coworkers in the lobby, and he was all sweaty. And I asked him if he hit up the sauna. He says, "No, I was just working out." I was like, "Oh, cool. Yeah, me too."
I walked up the stairs.
almost- exactly.
I walked up the 3 stairs from that, the sunken lobby just to get to the elevator.
Yeah.
All
It
right.
is a nice hotel. I don't know if you can see much of it here, but it's a very nice hotel. They've got that glass bathroom thing going on, though.
Yeah, they all have that now. It's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So speaking of glass bathrooms, I said, I wanted to say a little something about all of our sponsors. Honeybadger.io. They are the glass bathroom of the monitoring world. Wait, did that transition for you, Tom? Did that work?
That was not
Yeah. No, that was
Honey Badger has been with us as a sponsor. Not probably. Honey Badger has been with us longer than any other sponsor we've had, with the
3
exception
years
of
now.
PHP Architect itself. So, yeah, we appreciate Honey Badger, and we are honestly, if they weren't sponsoring us, we would still use them, and we would still be trying to direct more and more clients to them.
We still pay them for their product, even though
it's still net loss for us, right? They sponsor us, but we pay more for their product. But it's fine. It's fine. We're okay with that. I wish they had a referral. I wish they had a referral link for us, like Cloudways did, because I feel like I've pointed so many people to Honey Badger over the years. But yeah, so let's hear a little bit more about Honey Badger.
When you're in production, 1,000 things can go wrong. You could deploy a bug in your latest release. Your background jobs can silently fail. Someone could trip over the network cable at your data center, and this all comes back to you. You need to know when bad things happen and be able to respond to them quickly. That's why we built Honey Badger. It's easy to install Honey Badger in your back-end applications and front-end JavaScript. It only takes a few minutes of configuration and you'll have monitoring done. That's because we hook into popular web frameworks, job systems, and the browser, so that when any of them crash, we can automatically let you know. We ping your application from our global fleet of servers to let you know about problems with connectivity, latency, and SSL certificates, and we monitor your recurring jobs to see if any of them stop recurring. When there's a problem, we alert your team using the tools you already use. We can create issues in GitHub, Jira, and other issue trackers, and send notifications via Slack, PagerDuty, or other channels. When you click through, you'll be taken to detailed information on the error. You'll see things like request parameters, headers, user information, and the backtrace. Click on any line of the backtrace to view it in GitHub, Bitbucket, or your local editor. When you fix a problem, just mark it resolved and follow up with the affected user. That's Honey Badger. We're the monitoring tool for web developers who'd rather be, well, developing.
Thank you,
Honey Badger.
Thank you, Honey Badger.
I got a cat in my office. So the dog's been taken care of. Somehow the cat got locked in my office, and now she's playing with something. He's playing with something. I can't figure out where the hell he's at. Weird.
You figure it out when the mic cuts out. The smell of burnt hair comes through.
What? Oh. That wouldn't.
So you want to hear something weird?
Yes.
John, you're going to really appreciate this. My one kid. So I had one kid move as far away from us as they possibly could, and still stay in the state of California. So I'm not reading too much into that. I'm just saying it's a fact. My other kid, which is weird.
You bought them a stolen moped, so.
Which is, I mean, again, John, you might be able to appreciate this, Tom, but John, you have the youngest kids. To think that they're one day going to do this to you.
Oh, fingers crossed.
I know where the damn cat is. It's driving me crazy. The cat is under a chair in my office, and there's no getting to him.
Hey,
so, anyways, my other kid purchased a car this week, which is so bizarre. I have never purchased a new car. I have never owned a new car. I've always owned used cars, and they purchased a new car this week, which is crazy.
That reminds me, you know Matt Frost, right? In the community,
yeah. Sure.
He tweeted out recently that he was driving and pulled up behind one of his kids that was driving, and it was just a weird experience.
How bizarre is that? Yeah. That's also really bizarre.
Well, yeah. That's my kid.
Yeah.
Or going to a bar and running into your kid is like, what? Why are you here? Should you be here? Yeah.
I drove past my daughter the other day and saw that she was leaving for work. And 2 seconds later, she called and goes, "Hi, I just saw you." So what do we say?
You're not
get the fuck off your phone. You're driving.
Exactly.
That's right.
But you answered your phone
because she was just gonna sit there and call again. And my wife answered the phone. She was a passenger. It was safe.
Okay. Yes, you are correct. You should not be on your phone. You are driving.
No. Speaking of the advertisers, I did get asked a couple times this week how much I make from the podcast. Do I make good money on the podcast?
We don't make anything on the podcast.
I always give the same answer. I say, listen, okay, this is more about friends reconnecting after moving away from each other. This isn't about money for us, or no, we don't, we make sort of operational costs, and then I go cry for a while. And
hey, operational costs is no low bar, man. I am very happy that like the services we use, aren't coming out of pocket anymore. But, yeah, it would be nice. It's a running joke in my family whenever like the kids bring somebody new over the house. I'm like, listen, your friends are probably going to recognize that I'm a podcaster. Let's just let them know to calm down. I'm just a normal person like anybody else. I just happen to be podcasting.
That's right.
And loved by millions.
I put on my Versace pants one leg at a time.
Are we allowed to? Since we broadcast live on YouTube, are we allowed to say we're YouTubers too?
I don't see why not. We're streamers, I believe now. I think we can say we're streamers.
Yeah, I mean, like if I load up Solitaire right now, technically we're gamer streamers.
You can go. All right, so listen, I want to get back to this because we alluded to it earlier. Elon Musk officially owns Twitter now. That has finally happened. So
is he firing executives or are they quitting? I thought they
some
were
some have been fired.
He straight up fired the top two.
Yeah. Well, I thought the top two quit and then he fired the lawyer. Yeah, I don't know.
No.
What I saw was the CEO and CFO left.
Right. That was my understanding as well.
I believe they were asked to leave.
Okay. Well, whatever.
Fired.
I mean, Elon Musk now owns Twitter, so that's a thing. Let's see where this goes. This can't possibly be bad.
I'm interested in seeing what happens.
Yeah.
To a point.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's really bad timing with the Kanye West situation.
Oh, dude, what the hell?
Like,
So this is what we
it's
talked
just-
about, right?
we
We
can't
said we're
get
not
too
going to talk
into it.
politics on the show,
Right.
and you can't not talk about it anymore because tech and politics have woven together so tightly. It's insane.
Yeah, it's
Tech being
gotten
technology,
bizarre.
not PHP tech.
So do you know the Kanye story, John? Because I know you don't
Oh,
watch a lot
only
of
because
news.
I don't watch news. I only know about it because I watched the Casey Neistat video on it today.
Well, okay, so there's a bit of a twist on the Kanye story that doesn't get a lot of coverage, but he started hanging out with Candace Owens, who is a notoriously horrible person. And then he started saying stuff that got him banned on Twitter. And then he started saying he was going to buy Parler because it's the real free speech platform. But what people don't realize is Parler, which is just hemorrhaging money, the CEO is Candace Owens' husband.
Right.
So
I
it's
was
like
wondering if
it's
you're going to get to that.
very clearly a total grift. Like just a sucker's game. And it's awful. And I mean, aside from everything else that he's doing that's awful, which is a lot, just the whole situation. And he showed up at the Skechers corporate office and had to be escorted out today or yesterday.
Adidas probably.
Skechers. No, so Adidas dropped him and said that they're going to destroy all of the unsold stock.
Yeah.
And so he went to the Skechers corporate office, which is, anyways, he shows up unannounced at the Skechers corporate office for some reason, and they just straight up had to like remove him from the building.
Yeah.
It's nuts.
It's a crazy world we're in right now. Picked my one kid up from the airport today, and that's what we're talking about. I just can't believe this just bizarro world we live in right now. It's so weird.
It's bizarre because you're picking your kid up from the airport. They're still supposed to be small. We're not supposed to be this old.
That's true.
Yeah.
All right. We're running a little long, and then, like I said, I wanted to say a little thing about our sponsors, which I did. But let's also talk about these people right here, the Patreons on Patreon. And I still haven't put the link on here. If you want to sponsor us on Patreon, it's patreon.com/PHPUgly. Pretty simple. I think we have sponsor levels. In fact, I guess I can. Well, I'm sharing that already. I can't share the website as well, but I'll pull it up just to double check. But I think we have levels starting at $1.
Yeah, $1.
Oh, that was not even right. I went to.
We really do need to change our lowest tier from made me chuckle to made me depressed.
That's hurtful. Why do you say that?
So that people don't choose it.
Yeah, make them choose the higher tier.
It's marketing, damn it. We've talked about it before. It's really, we put up the Patreon not as a joke, but as a, everybody else was doing it at the
lark.
time. But really, if it wasn't for Patreon, we would have stopped this at episode 100.
Yeah, it's totally y'all's
sure.
fault now. You should know that.
Yeah, the blame is squarely on the listeners.
You guys just stop listening. We probably just talk more because there wouldn't be so much.
We need to change the $1 just because of inflation. Isn't that supposed to be like $7 now?
I know, right? We really should. We should. I keep forgetting about this. That's like I keep forgetting we have a website. That's what I went to earlier. Do you know we have a website? PHPUgly.com, where you can go and you can subscribe to the audio podcast, but more importantly, you can get all the show notes, which we list all the Patreon supporters. And so,
Is that why
yeah,
we've been getting so many emails like, take me off your website?
yeah.
CCPA.
I just ignore them, John. You can delete them. There's this delete key you can use, but yeah, I forget we have a website every now and then. It's good to know. I should read through this.
Speaking of our listeners, our Discord has a gaming channel that discussed the PHPUgly chess tournament that starts next Tuesday.
Is with John and I? John started a chess game with me last week, and I think I've made like 3 or 4 moves.
There's a weird amount of controversy in chess right now.
I sit there. I don't know how you haven't resigned yet, John, because I sit there and I look at the board for like a day and a half before I finally move. Like I start moving stuff around, and
it's because I normally play 10-minute games when I play. I start it, I play through, I'm done. But all the other games, I've got a bunch of these 5-day games, and it's like I'm not waiting I'm waiting, but I'm not like going and looking at the board. It's like as soon as a move is made, I get notified, and then I make my move.
Yeah, I'm realizing I don't like this. I mean, I thought I would, and I think that's one of the reasons why I haven't played more people, because I don't know how to play. So it's like I can't ask questions. Like I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just like, okay, I know I can move the piece this way, and I try to figure out what everybody else is doing, but I don't understand like the logic and stuff behind it. So like the one time you and I actually played like with a real board, it was fun because I could ask you questions. I'm like, what about this? What about this? This is like, it's very, very intimidating because I'm just like, I'm staring at the screen like,
so where I got started was that the 10-minute rapid. So it's blitz is crazy fast. You have to make moves too fast. 10 minutes, you can play a game within 20 minutes. And then you're just going to learn more from that. Play the game, play however you play. And then at the end, it'll tell you where you really made mistakes. And you just learn from it. Yeah. So you go through the analysis portion of it. You're like, oh, and you can start to see patterns. So the more you play, the more patterns you see. And then you will slowly get better.
I didn't realize it. So you're the first game I've played on chess.com. So I didn't realize you had an opportunity to get it like analyzed afterwards.
Right. So play that. Play the 10-minute version and just play a bunch of them. Play when you have time, when you have just a few minutes to sit around, just start a game, play it, check it out.
I have lost
that would be
every game I've played on chess.com.
Really?
That is not possible.
Maybe you and I should play, Tom.
It'll
help you boost your self-esteem.
It was 3 games with John, and I got roundly defeated.
Well, John,
I've been playing for a lot longer.
Yeah.
Not a lot longer. I've only been playing for a couple years, but it's
Tom, you and I should play. Do you know how to play, Tom? I mean, are you like?
Yeah.
You know all the moves and stuff. See, I don't even know all the moves. Like,
yeah, the horsey can make L shapes.
Can somebody explain to me, like, how do you know what side the king and what side the queen goes on? Because that messes me up every time.
The king is always on his color.
Mm-hmm.
The king is always on his color. Okay, that's good to know. See, maybe I won't forget that now.
The pieces always line up across from each other. So kings are always across from kings.
Right, that's my thing. It's like I don't understand. Like, does the white king go on the right and the black king go on the left, or is it the other way?
But when you're playing on chess.com or any other site, you're not setting it up anyway. So what does that matter?
It matters because you need to understand the game. If I don't even understand the freaking pieces, John, what are my chances of understanding the strategies behind it? I mean, that's like not understanding how to run bases in baseball. What's it matter if you strike out all the time? You don't need to know where the bases are. It matters, John. You need to know the fundamentals.
I've given you the advice. Go just play this, because the nice part is you start out at a low rating as it is. if you're losing, you're gonna play people that are a little worse than you, but you really want to play people better than you, right? So you're gonna start out, you're gonna analyze your game, and you're gonna get better.
Yeah.
I'm
Sarah says it's
I'm
the
a
queen
child
that's
beater.
on
I
her
want to play
color.
people much worse than me.
So you guys are already messing me up. Is it the king or the queen that's on their color?
I always just when I need to set the board up, I go check it out. I always get it backwards.
A little help to me.
What does it matter?
Eric,
the king
you
goes
can learn
right.
PHP.
Queen goes on her color.
Queen goes on her color. Sarah, whether or not I actually have a good grasp on PHP is also kind of up for debate. So you're not really making a point there. I'm sorry, but appreciate it.
Yeah, how long has this event sourcing project been going?
Oh, I've been done with the event sourcing piece for a while. We're just kind of tying everything together.
Right.
Sevi, yes, Gotham is the one guy I watch.
Yeah, and when we gave them the estimate, it was right around now, mid October. I guess we're late October now. We're starting to do the demos for them. We've been giving them videos as things have progressed, so it's not like a shock.
Yeah, and like I'm just adding a little sugar to the front end to make it look a little more appealing. We did kind of run into a couple issues today. We discovered that I really need to get fixed before we could ever go live. But I'm really happy where it's at. I mean, there's a lot that needs to still be done. Like I said, a lot of error handling that needs to be done. A lot of kind of going back and looking at some of the finer grain things that really should be addressed. But it's like I said, it's four different services or 4 different servers talking to one backend. Well, I guess technically 2 backends if you think about it. And then payment process. I mean, I'm really happy with how well everything's coming together. It's just a matter of if it's going to scale the way we need it to scale, which is going to be the big question. I feel like it will. And I feel like we have headroom to make improvements if we need it to scale. Need it to scale more.
Because it's not going to take off where it's not going to be crazy used at first.
Right.
It's going to be
there's
tested,
already all these places where I'm saying, oh, we can. I was thinking about today. I've already identified somewhere where we could use something like CouchDB, a document store, for a piece of it that basically needs to be. I mean, the data kind of needs to live on all the servers, and I'm like, well, maybe we should just like have a document store that's syncing all this stuff instead of trying to replicate it. And which we're not replicating it now. Right now, we have a source of truth that is an API call to it, but it's this one thing that's like, okay, this really should be on the other servers as well. But we can talk about that later if you're interested. But yeah, there's a lot of things we could do to improve. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm hoping to see this one get out the door. We started a similar greenfield project that got way more complex. I mean, so complex, and I felt we were delivering on it, and it didn't matter how much we delivered on it. The project owner just kept wanting to make it more complex and kept wanting to hit all these like really bizarre edge cases that he just kept pushing the envelope on it. And it's like, it didn't matter how much we coded, it wasn't enough. Oh, well, we still have to think about this one case. It's like, oh my gosh, dude, we need to get something done so that we can start working on this stuff.
Yeah, and it sucks when that person is in the position they're in.
Yeah, when they're powerful people, it's hard.
Yeah, so they are not involved in this project, and we're trying to impress upon them the whole MVP. Get something out that people can start using, iterate from there. Don't try to solve every problem up front. Get something that people can use and then solve the problems that they have versus you trying to invent problems that may possibly be there.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping to see that. I'm hoping this one gets out the door on some level. I don't think I don't think it'll be this year. I know they really want it to be this year. I think we're still missing some pretty big pieces that they know we're missing. We've talked about this. I just don't think
they said they don't need them. We've brought it up, and they've said we don't.
That's my thing. I don't think they're comprehending how big of a piece it is. So I don't know. Maybe not.
I have a little trick up my sleeve for my current project. Our deadline for it is, like I said, January 1st. We've got clients lining up to use it, so they're ready. Awesome. Like day one, hit the ground.
So this is a greenfield app, so they don't even know how functional it's going to be, and they're lining up to use it, huh?
It is a greenfield code replacing a legacy functionality.
Oh, okay, all right. So it's like 2.0 of something.
Yeah. But my trick is, hey, they're lining up to use it, but that means we don't have to have billing done until February 1st.
Yeah, we've gone down that road before.
Yeah, our real deadline is just basic functionality, January 1st. We're going to trick them, think they've got a complete system, but it's going to be a killer. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah. Yep. All right.
Look forward to hearing about the progress as you get going along.
Yeah, a lot of Laravel style coding. Not actual Laravel components, but Laravel style components.
Sounds like a presentation that should be made at a conference that's going to be held in May in Chicago.
Well, I have to be sponsored to go.
No, you don't. That's the whole point. You submit a talk.
Personal checks.
you well, that too, but you submit a presentation idea. If we like it and accept it, you get to go. It's the way the cookie crumbles.
Yeah.
So if I want a free ticket, I just have to provide a valuable service.
Yeah, so it's not free. You're working for it.
Gotcha. But I do get dinner the first night.
I don't know. What do you mean the first night? You
don't have a speaker's dinner? All right, I'm not going.
No, I don't. I didn't say that. I didn't know it was the first night. I don't know what night it will be yet. We may make everyone wait till the end, just so we know that they're there. Yeah. Speaker dinner's at the very end, so that you have to.
That wouldn't be a dick move at all. How many speakers who were at Wave PHP were there on the last day?
I don't know. We did it the first day. We know how to throw a conference. Leave us alone.
I think a lot of them hung around.
It was San Diego at the time, for crying out loud.
Exactly.
It was amazing.
It was beautiful.
There's one person we asked to leave, but that's a whole nother story.
Oh, I hope that doesn't happen again.
Speaking of you not talking to me, John, I sent you a link about a topic that came up in the PHP Architect Discord. So
you did.
If you were to subscribe to PHP Arc, there's a couple of benefits that come along with it. So I got in my my print copy. Look at the quality of this magazine. This is high tech quality here. This is good stuff. But
yeah, I'm stressed about that one. We won't talk about the issues I've already found in it.
Do you get we're live. We're streaming. Not only do you get access to our full back catalog from the beginning of time of PHP Architect, but you also get into the PHP Architect Discord. And yes, there was a little conversation going on in there, and I shared you a link and said, "Hey, what do you think about this?"
You did? Where?
Back.
You did
Slack.
Not. I'm looking at Slack. You did not.
What?
You're gonna have to point this out to. You're gonna have to point this out to me because I don't see a link to that.
I'm looking at it right now. Yesterday at 12:53.
Oh, you did.
All right. Anyways,
I will possibly maybe.
I mean,
check that out.
I'll talk about it. So in the PHP architect, I'm actually trying to find it because of course it won't open up in. Yeah, here it is. No, that's not it. Of course, it won't open up in Discord. It wants me to log back in on the website.
No,
This
mine
was
takes me to the Discord app. It just never takes me directly to the spot, so I get confused.
Are
you talking about the public health pledge?
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, I did see that.
I got it right here, actually. Yeah, this public health pledge. Here, let me see it. So first thing, I was curious if this was from the PHP community because it's called PHP Ledge. Which is,
I'll have to find it on Twitter. I saw the person that posted it. I started following them. Now I don't remember who it was.
Yeah, so it's a public health pledge that I need to take some time and read through. So we were asked if we were going to sign and adhere to the public health pledge. And I mean, on the surface, I don't really particularly have an issue with it. It's
hard.
I love signing things.
It's hard because how can you require, not how can you? One of the things is we would require vaccines, including boosters, require negative test results.
Right. Well, I think this is more of an individual. So this is saying, hey, I'm not going to attend events.
No, I don't think so, because if you read through this, they're referencing back in early 2010 when every conference started implementing a code of conduct. Mm-hmm. That is on the conference side, not on the individual side.
That's true. Yeah.
This would be
tied to that somehow.
Right. This would be PHP Tech saying, we are following the public health pledge, and there are certain things I would love to do that. We need to discuss it. Do we require vaccines and boosters, and do we require people to take tests before they show up? I think it's a great idea.
Requiring tests means you have to provide the tests.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean that.
Kind of does.
I have again, my one kid who's doing it, does the social services stuff, goes to a lot of conferences. I need to talk to them about it and see how they're handling it. They're very health conscious, but yeah, this is a hard one. If these are rules that we're going to say everybody has to adhere to, it's challenging.
There's a trick around my office right now where you can tell who's going on vacation next week because they're wearing a mask everywhere they go. They're not messing around with their vacation time.
Yeah, sounds about right.
I've tested every day this week. It's been an annoying delay to my morning, but keeps everyone safe.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't keep anybody safe. It just lets you know whether or not you have it or not. What keeps people safe is you putting on a mask.
Well, no, I mean, it keeps people safe because if you have it, you don't go to the office.
Ideally, yeah.
We have a form to fill out and everything.
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah, we can talk about it more, John. I mean, that's why I sent it to you in Slack, because I was hoping to start a conversation, but then I remember you just ignore me all week, so I have to talk to you on the podcast.
Yeah. I mean, he won't even stop by your house when he drives by.
Exactly. I hear him speed up as he comes into my neighborhood. He's just,
I'm on my way to lunch. I gotta go fly. I can't stop and talk to you.
Oh, congratulations on that, by the way.
Hey, thanks.
What are we congratulating him on?
400 flights.
No, I hit 90 flights the other day. That is the minimum requirement to get your P3 certification. I'm not in any P3 class. I don't want to pay for it right now, but it's a milestone. It's with that, I still need more hours.
Yeah.
I personally want to be better at my landings.
He unlocked the kite head badge.
So
that reminds me. Yeah, hold on. Keep talking, John. Keep talking. I got something for you.
On my 90th launch, I didn't know it was my 90th at the time, but it turns out it was. I'm coming into land, and you always want to land into wind. That's just the way it is. But the way the wind was coming in, I have a short spot to land. Otherwise, I land in the parking lot. So I was coming into land, and I felt I was going to overrun. So I turned into the normal direction of the wind. As I turn, I look, and the windsock switched from pointing directly at me to pointing the direction I just turned. So now I am landing downwind. Luckily, I knew it was a very slow, like soft wind. It wasn't crazy. But there's two people on the ground that had just landed. And I'm like, oh, this is going to hurt. So I land downwind.
Emotionally.
Everything was fine. I mean, I did land. I couldn't run fast enough, so I did fall forward. But I get back, I'm like, did you hear my proclamation in there? And they're like, yeah, we're just happy you stood up afterwards.
This is the land of the jumping cholla cactus, where if you think about being close to it, it jumps into your skin. I love that that's where you're landing.
It turned out to be fine. It was just funny.
All I did was crash.
I probably, when I look back, I possibly could have made the 180, but it was close to being a bad idea, so I just went with it. It happens. Not a big deal.
Well,
right,
as always, you've been listening to Paratalk.
We see, that's one reason for us to change the time of the show. There is paragliding talk that happens the same time as we're recording this, and I miss out on
it. That is
the so your excuse is to change our time.
Well,
not to tell them to change theirs.
Technically, they start at 8:00, and they have way more advertisers than we have.
Technically, I don't give a shit.
So what we need to do is we need to start courting the paragliding market for advertisers.
There you go.
Also, if you work for a company that wants to sponsor tech, reach out to John and I.
What are those emails? How does one reach out to a let's say an Eric at diegodev.com?
Oh, PHPUgly.com.
Is Eric at? We are officially PHPUgly.com now. We switched over our Google app to PHPUgly.com being our primary domain. So,
you do remember when you bought PHP Architect, and I had casually suggested you were going to become PHPUrchitect.com developers.
I don't remember that at all.
Diego Dev was you were purchasing the title. And everything was going to eventually change over to be we're PHP Architect. Diego Dev, never heard of him.
I don't remember that at all, but that was kind of always in the back of our minds when we've
been talking about it from the beginning. But I know, Tom, you like to take credit for everybody else. So sure, you're 100% right. This is all your idea. I'm sorry, I forgot how incredibly intelligent you are.
Hey, one of us is in Silicon Valley.
Yep, that is true. When do you fly home?
It's Saturday.
Why was that funny? Just a question. When do you fly home? I'm sure your family misses you.
My dog misses me. He hears me on the speakerphone and starts whining.
Wife and kids don't, though. Stay as long as you want.
The wife does. The kids are fun.
All right, well, I have a podcast to edit and get out because I found out that we have listeners who enjoy listening to our podcast on their drive to work Friday morning. So I do not want to disappoint them. I'm going to wrap up this episode. 309 is in the books. I'm Eric.
I'm John.
I'm Tom.
Keep it ugly.
Keep it
Keep it
ugly.
ugly.
1, 2, 1, 2. Coming off the top,
You
y'all
go.
know how we do. Listen, I'ma drop a freestyle you can cherish.
We can record earlier
I'ma
if
send
you
a
want
shout
to.
out to the host named Eric.
Earlier
Yo,
is not
he's never
good.
on
That
some
would be
average shit. You know, Eric, he stays
It
loud
is
and
better.
passionate. I'm about to
Alright.
break it down for
How do I
y'all
share
with the
with you guys
clever
again?
song. Yo, shout the host name Thomas,
the
cause
screen.
he's
Share the
never
whole
wrong. Yo,
screen.
shout to John. You know that he's
I don't
smart
know if
and
it's a-
quiet.
I don't know
Unlike
if
my
it is an
freestyles,
option
which cause a riot. I'm about to do
It's
it
only
like
an
this,
option when
cause
you
the
share the
people
whole
love
screen.
me. Shouts out to
It'll say,
PHP the ugly. It's called
Share with
ugly cause
sound.
it's not professional. But I'm about to come through and bless it with style. So let's do it when I'm spitting. I perfume the room. Yo, the
Yeah, I
segment
saw
of the
that.
show is called Doom and Gloom. That came from
I know,
Thomas.
it's
Yeah,
terrible.
can nobody
Oh,
go
can you hear
beyond this? I get the
Nope.
mic and then I'm about to keep it
You're
like
not
a
sharing
promise.
the screen.
Yeah, and
You're not
y'all
sharing
know
the
we
screen
fill
with
them
the-
up with anguish. We talking about the PHP, the programming
Nothing about it.
language. About to
Share-
break it down,
share
no
entire
exaggeration. What do
Right.
y'all do for a living?
So
Web
there's a pop-up in the back
applications.
that
Okay,
shows,
I
like,
can dig it. My words
you
spray
need to do.
tight.
There should be a-
They're
in the
getting
bottom
together
left-hand
on the
corner, there
Thursday
should be
nights. Yeah, when it comes to rhyming, you
include
can call
sound,
me
but I
the
did not
new
see
dude.
that
That's
online.
few true lyrics while y'all broadcast
Yeah.
on YouTube. So let's get it. You know my lyrics are major.
There is no
All up
option
in the
to share
comments, they got
sound.
plenty of haters, but they doing what they doing. Keep it ugly. We ending every show with the saying it's lovely. Let's go.
So, whatever.
Hey, shout out to y'all. Peace to the whole squad, man. Hope your channel is doing real well on YouTube. Hope you guys are having fun.
there's a
there it
share
is.
And it was an honor
You
and
see share
blessing to do
audio
this
in the
little
bottom
custom freestyle for y'all. Hope you enjoy.
On,
Stay up.
on the tabs, on the share tab.
Right.
There.
Wait, but that doesn't work for you. I don't think that would work. You need to share entire screen, but there is no share audio thing down
We are tech professionals.
We are.
there. So
I
I'm
don't
wondering
know
if that's I wonder if that's a Windows thing that works.
Exactly. I was just about to say, I wonder if it's just because we're on Linux, we don't have that option.
Or
There's
if
got to
it's
be a way I can pipe it back to you guys somehow.
It's all good.
There is a way. It's complicated and not worth it, but you have to have a.
Okay.
Or have the audio
Literally-
go out your speakers and just crank it up really loud.
Hey.
Yeah,
Wouldn't
you have
be the
to. You have
first
to
time.
create a virtual device.
Yeah.
I mean, for a while, I just put my headphones over the microphone.
Would you? There you go. There's your keynote right there, John. Sarah says we should just perform this live. Sarah, I told John we need to get Harry Mack at PHP Tech, and he just laughed at me.
I did not.
That would be
Wait.
great.
What do you mean it's not a real desktop operating system? What are you talking about? What do you use?
She's giving
What
you
do
a hard
you use,
time.
Sarah? Sarah looks like a
She's
Mac person.
obviously she's using BOS.
Fuck you. All right. It was just got himself a timeout. You're absolutely wrong there, Sarah. Unless you're fucking with me, you're absolutely wrong. We were talking about today. I was actually talking. So, can I give away an article for next month, John?
Yeah, I don't care. I'm fine with that.
So next month, I just finished reading Joe's article for next month on Lando, which is the Docker thing that I use.
But she's saying desktop, not dev environment. Dev environment, it's awesome.
You're differentiating between a dev environment and a desktop?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. Oh, interesting. I still think it works fine for me as a desktop. I could go back to Mac if I had to, but I don't know if I'd want to. But yeah, it's good, man. Yes, I develop on Linux 100% of the time. Okay, so she's fucking with me. All right, man. I was about to lose respect for you. That was close. That's close. Sarah, when are you gonna do the next roundtable? What's up? When are you gonna get that on the books?
I'm shocked that hasn't come up yet.
I know, right? I'm sure I just fucked myself on that one.
Even
There's
on
a
my
30-second delay.
No, it's in Discord. Even on my Mac OS laptop, I run a Linux VM. That's what I'm saying. I think Mac desktop is better.
God. gosh. Pop OS is what John and I are on, Sevy. It's pretty nice. That's what I'm rocking. Rocking a little Pop OS. I got mine looking pretty clean too.
Yeah, but you still got the issues of Snap versus apt versus whatever.
I don't use
installation
snaps
is
anymore. It's either Flatpaks or app.
Things just aren't. It's not great.
Flatpaks are garbage.
Flatpaks are garbage, but they're the way you have to go. You know what, John? To be honest with you, I feel that way on any OS that I run. It's like depending on what you're running. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't know.
Honestly, matter of fact, it amazes me. It amazes me how many apps don't run well on the iPad. Like I thought the iPad was like such a juggernaut in the industry that everybody had apps that ran on it correctly, and I run into a surprisingly amount that still do the old school scaling from the iPhone app. So it's like an iPhone app that they just scale up, and it's just like this horrible experience because it doesn't understand rotation.
You use your iPad way more than I do.
I use my iPad a lot. Yeah. Yeah,
I need to see what you're doing because I don't use mine at all.
I have.
Yeah, so we use apt as well, as much as possible.
I really see people using MacBook Air more than iPads now.
I tell you, so we haven't talked about it in a while, and I think I got John going down this path. Not a sponsor of the show. This is not a paid endorsement, but it's a product that I don't want to live without anymore. It's Tailscale. I've installed Tailscale.
I'm a user now.
Dude, it has brought life to my MacBook. Like I can go places and fire up my MacBook and drop onto my Tailscale network. And it's also why I use my iPad so much. But I can drop onto my Tailscale network and have access to my main desktop. And using that whole PHP Storm gateway, I tell you what, man, it has changed the game for me. It's
this would have been great for the show.
Yeah, but
we talked about it on the show.
I've talked about it once on the show, and they're not a paid advertiser, so I don't want to keep like hammering about it.
If it's a good thing,
it is a good thing. I'll talk about it next week, but yeah, Tailscale.
I'm using it. I actually have my laptop here. I got onto the network and to download apps or all my content for next week.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the Mac versus Linux desktop, I think if Docker was a better experience on a Mac, I would probably go back to a Mac.
I don't really have any problems with it.
With what? Docker?
Docker.
So I'm running. This is what we're talking about. And Joe mentions it in his article next month in PHP Architect. Joe has a fantastic article on Lando. I use Lando because of our Discord. Somebody in our Discord recommended it to me. It specifically addressed an issue that I had talked about on the show, which was the idea of setting up a proxy server in front of my projects because I work on a bunch of multiple projects. We talked about this in the past. I am easily running 5 to 6 Docker containers at any one moment, and it only scales up from there. And I don't see so much of a hiccup of it running on my Linux box. If I run more than 2 on my Mac, you feel it.
Huh. Have you updated? Because there's it's constantly updating.
Tom, have you tried Linux and have you understand how good that is? I'm not here to have a back and forth with you, and I'm just letting you know the amount of
what kind of podcast would that be?
Yeah, well, we're not podcasting anymore. My Docker gets wonky when I use it for several hours. I am not amused.
Mine's running for days on end, and I don't have issues with it.
I would say mine runs for weeks. I just started shutting down on Thursday because I'm handling the stream now, so I try to dial down my computer as much as
Whoa,
possible.
roll it. Okay, roll that back. You're handling the stream the last 2 weeks. I'm coming back next week.
Yeah, but everybody likes my stream so much more.
I haven't seen or heard any indication of that. Your children don't count.
We should have had a poll. We should have had a poll going. My friend, have you heard of the good word about Linux? Yes, that's absolutely right. Hey, Woods, aren't you on Pop? I thought you were a Pop person. Hey, Woods.
YubiKey.
Handing them out to everyone.
Eric punching himself in the face. Is that our title? Punching.
Oh yeah,
there are a couple good ones in there.
Yeah, I was a fan of Don't Throw Turds in a Glass Bathroom, but that's just me.
Only if you spell it wrong.
Only if you spell it wrong.
I'm giving your kids a hard
time. We'll do this together. PHP. I don't remember where talks are. Title ideas.
Yeah.
Titles.
So, Sarah, we talked about the butt plug guy cheating at chess a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Hans Niemann.
So that story, I just want to be clear here, got weirdly crazier. Because chess.com came out and said, "Oh, we have proof he's cheating on online.
Online, not in live chess."
But their proof was an analytical data set. It was this when does he leave the screen or things like that. Their proof was really flimsy. And then he launched a lawsuit and explained that chess.com and what's his name? Not Neiman, the other guy.
Magnus Carlsen.
Magnus. Yeah, so that Magnus and chess.com had huge profits together colluding because Magnus and chess.com ran all of the over-the-board tournaments around the world. Magnus runs Magnus tournaments and chess.com runs chess.com tournaments.
Play Magnus.
Yeah, play Magnus. And to have this up-and-comer defeat the top chess player in the world threatened both of their profit margins. And so he's accusing them of colluding to accuse him of cheating so that they don't lose money from him. Because he can't play over-the-board chess anymore. There's nowhere for him to play in tournaments.
That's not true because he just played recently.
I don't think that's right.
No, big tournaments. He's basically limited to the very small portion of the chess world that isn't Play Magnus and chess.com.
I don't know about that, but I'm done.
That's what his lawsuit says.
I think it is.
All right,
time to
wrap
it up.
The stream?
Yep.
Say
Thank
again,
you,
what?
everyone, for hanging out with us.
Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. Appreciate you.